In 2048, a highly classified catastrophic event occurred in deep space, leaving behind a mystery that remains unsolved to this day. The mission was a massive international undertaking, bringing together the world's premier space agencies, including NASA and the UK Space Agency. Commander Jack Walker and his crew launched into the deep void to investigate a signal that promised to alter human history. They were following a trail of data that eventually led to a terrifying series of events. The investigation into the 2048 expedition reveals a chilling reality. The crew's final act was the unintentional awakening of an ancient horror. The crisis began at an isolated telescope array in the Arizona desert. On a clear night, the sensors caught a sustained, high-intensity transmission. Astronomers traced the signal's origin millions of light-years away, pinpointing a specific sector within the Andromeda galaxy. The transmission showed a strict, deliberate mathematical pattern, standing out against the chaotic radio noise typically found in deep space. Scientists spent months running the data through decryption algorithms, attempting to understand the intelligence behind the architecture of the signal. This mathematical perfection convinced the scientific community that Earth had finally received definitive contact from an advanced civilization. British astronomer Dr. Emily Carter realized the signal was not a verbal message. She discovered that the embedded data was actually a complex set of spatial coordinates. When decoded, the data formed a three-dimensional map leading to an isolated point in the void, far from any known star system. These coordinates identified a stationary, artificial structure sitting in a region of space that should have been entirely empty. A joint US-UK investigation team was immediately deployed. Jack Walker was chosen to lead the crew on a high-speed intercept mission. The Andromeda signal acted as a cosmic breadcrumb trail, designed to draw a technologically capable species out of its home system and into the deep void. Walker's crew embarked on a near-light-speed journey across the expanse, traveling for months toward the source of the transmission. Upon arrival, they found a massive obsidian structure, larger than most cities, floating in the absolute darkness of the void. The station was physically impossible. It lacked an orbit and remained perfectly stationary, having held its position for thousands of years. The team entered the silent interior, finding themselves in corridors of black metal, illuminated only by a faint, ghostly blue light pulsing from the walls. The complete absence of life support systems or living quarters suggests this was never intended for biological residence. The structure was engineered to function as a permanent, automated observation post, waiting millions of years for a species to finally reach it. Suddenly, the station's systems roared to life. A massive holographic entity materialized in the center of the hall, addressing the travelers directly. The entity claimed the station was built millions of years ago by an advanced civilization. Its purpose was to monitor the long-term evolution of life throughout the galaxy. The hologram then revealed a catastrophic historical record. The creators of the station were annihilated by a massive, expanding field of dark energy that consumed entire star systems. This destructive force is still active. The map showed the void accelerating as it moved across the galaxy, now locked on to Earth's sector. The automated signal from Andromeda reveals a darker reality. It was a final, desperate distress beacon, sent by a civilization already facing extinction. Commander Walker frantically attempted to re-establish a link with Earth to send a warning, but every communication channel went dead. The team then looked through the station's viewing ports. An immense silhouette had materialized in the darkness outside. The scale was terrifying. A structure larger than the moon hung in the void, marked by two glowing red anomalies that resembled eyes. Inside the station, the final sensory overload began. Warning sirens blared throughout the corridors, declaring that the danger had arrived just before all systems permanently failed. By answering the signal, humanity inadvertently stripped away its cosmic camouflage. We have shown an apex predator exactly where we live.